Welcome. This is ActiveSpirituality.life. It is a weekly forecast program with astrology and a guided meditation activation to help you make the most of your week. It's run by Pamela Cucinell, that's me, the astrologer, and Suzy Meszoly, Master Healer. We invite you to find out more about our individual work. Suzy Meszoly, SuzyMeszoly-healer.com, or insightoasis.com for astrology. You can also find both of us at activespirituality.life, and we look forward to your joining us every week. Please share with your friends. Here we go.
Welcome, everybody, to activespirituality.life with Pamela Cucinell and moi, Suzy Meszoly. Pam's going to tell us all about the week. Actually, it's week 42 of this year, 2021. The week starting Monday, the 18th of October. And then I'll be back shortly for our meditation. Pam, how does it look for us? I hear that the last couple of weeks in October could be a bit rocky, so I'm very interested to hear the astrology.
Well, rocky, perhaps. It depends on where things are at for you, but I would use the word dynamic. Basically, when we look at Monday the 18th, the main thing that's occurring, well, there's two big things. One is that the planet Jupiter, which has been retrograde for a few months, goes direct. And that happens at 1:30 a.m. Eastern time. So all the times I give are Eastern time. Please adjust depending on where you are on the planet. So once Jupiter goes direct, and of course, the planet is still doing its regular orbit, but from our perspective, right now, it appears that Jupiter has slowed down in the sky, is stationary. And on Monday, at that point in time, it may still appear stationary, but what's happening is it's starting to move in direct motion from our perspective here on Earth. And the planet Jupiter has so much to do with the ability to take risks, to take opportunity, to invest, to be optimistic, to go for the thing that looks like it's more of a stretch. And some of us are more naturally hardwired this way than others. Sagittarians tend to be very bold, adventurous, will throw an idea out there, sometimes when they really shouldn't, because it's just they get so exuberant with whatever the thought, idea, or concept may be. Jupiter has this emphasis that whatever it's near or influences becomes bigger. So if you're having a Jupiter transit, meaning that Jupiter is touching or in line with geometrically a certain position on your personal horoscope, a shorthand answer might be, oh, that's good fortune, or that's auspicious, or luck, or benevolence. Well, that is in theory true. However, it depends what it's in alignment with, because Jupiter makes whatever it is influencing bigger. So if that aspect is something that's tender or vulnerable or hard or ferocious, it becomes bigger. It becomes more larger to deal with. And when Jupiter's been retrograde, there's a tendency to hold back whatever it may be. So some of us may be feeling a sense of, there's a momentum building, and yet I can't move it. It's the image of the horse behind the gate, cannot it's moving in place, but it can't let that engine gallop forward yet. When Jupiter's direct, the gallop begins. And on this particular day, on the 18th, it also is happening when the planet Mercury goes direct. Mercury is the planet that symbolizes communication, electronics, how connectivity. And when Mercury is retrograde, a lot of the buzz on the internet or among people who pay attention to some astrology is, don't buy a new electronic, don't, back up your computer, double check your appointments. And that's all true, but we don't have to be necessarily superstitious or feel like we can't venture forward in certain ways. One thing that is kind of a question mark, depending on your personal horoscope, is that when Mercury's retrograde, we don't necessarily want to sign a contract or take a new job, because when the next retrograde happens, we may be double thinking that. But regardless, property gets sold, babies get born, stuff happens when any retrograde is occurring. And a lot of the planets were retrograde over this period of time. And now it's like all the switches are starting to go on. And on Monday, there's just a lot of big switch energy. And this is coupled with the fact that the moon enters the sign of Aries at 6:04 a.m. And Aries is fire. It's what we call cardinal sign. It's initiative. It initiates. So a lot of things are going to start to move very, very quickly next week, or as of the 18th, I should say. So it doesn't mean that suddenly that check's going to come in the mail, or you're going to get the call about the job, or it comes through that you're moving into that new place, or da 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 da. But all those things could happen like very fast, depending on your personal horoscope. The main piece about when Jupiter's retrograde is that we never want to start a new business or monetary venture during the retrograde. Depending, there are some exceptions, but depending, in kind of an umbrella statement, because when Jupiter's direct, people are much more apt to, as I said earlier, invest, buy, take chances, be optimistic. And so we are entering into a phase as we go through the end of the year that is so much about, all lights are on, let's move forward. And we'll see this happening on the world stage, in investments, in sluggish things that happen in government. You'll start to see a momentum building and things opening up, because people have more of a sense of buoyancy. Nothing may necessarily be changing. There may not be more money in somebody's bank account, but the optimism starts to flood in. It's like light comes into the dark rooms and people start to see options and opportunities. That being said, as we go into these first couple of days of the week, heading towards that full moon on the 20th, there's kind of some clunky energy here, because moon is in the sign of Aries. So there is this kind of bull in the china shop orientation, things just happening maybe faster than is graceful, toes getting stepped on. But if you're poised and ready to take action, you can do it. You can make those things happen But I would advise, if you can kind of initiate or start to put some gas in the tank, as we move more towards midweek into Thursday, Friday, those are really auspicious times to be going full throttle into whatever this is. So Monday, the 18th, very dynamic day. Some people may get, as I said, hurt feelings, or things happen faster than they're ready for. Other people are going to really feel that momentum and flow, and they're going to go for it. I would say the best way to image this is think about think about the luge in the Olympics, where, or actually some young people were telling me about certain car racing, which I was trying to get my brain around this past week, where people get in these like high design cars, and they go like as fast as they can. They really only see out of a slit. I mean, that's kind of what Monday's like, where there can be this kind of racing that's occurring. But the thing is, if you're going to race like that or move with that velocity, you want to be a highly trained professional, like a luge attendee or whatever you call those people, so that you're able to put your weight and balance and total focus in whatever's going quickly, and to be able to take that opportunity as it's offered. If you're not feeling totally prepared for it, that's totally fine. Just know that as things are starting to light up and move forward, you want to be getting more in the game, paying more attention, so that you can start to take advantage of it when you feel more prepared and able to sail along at a velocity that's more comfortable for you. So the 18th, I believe it's a good day. It's just a really high velocity day. And so you want to be very alert, very aware. And if you feel like, hey, I'm going to do that, and it's kind of a crazy leap for you, then maybe make sure you have a trusted friend or someone who says, are you sure you want to do that now? Or let's think about this for a couple of days, especially if it involves money. So on the 19th, again, we're feeling this rush, like the wind is starting to be on our back. We're moving a lot more easily. Messages are coming in. We're hearing from parties that we're kind of like, where the heck is that person? And there's this kind of out of nowhere energy that might come in for some of us. And if you have this sort of upset or out of nowhere thing that comes in, you want to like look it over carefully, because it may look good, it may really get your interest, and all of that can be a lovely catalyst, but that doesn't mean you should act on it. So that's why you want to really check out all sides and see what you're getting into until you leap into it. Tempers can be short, especially towards late evening on Tuesday the 19th. And on Wednesday the 20th is when we've got the full moon in Aries. So it's late degrees, it's 27 degrees, Aries full moon. So that means the moon's being lit by the Libra sun. So basically what's really important to keep in mind on this day, it's exact at 10:57 a.m. So Eastern time, that will be in daylight. So you're not going to really see this full moon energy, but it is active. And then the moon is void, of course, until 3:59 p.m. So when the moon is void, especially in the sign of Aries, we don't want to initiate anything. We're best working with projects already in motion, releasing in some sort of physical exercise that we're used to doing, and just really keeping our space until the moon enters the sign of Taurus at 3:59 p.m., which then leads into a couple of really juicy days for obtaining something that you really want to make happen. It can be financial, it can be transformational, but it's very deep, it's very rich, and it can enrich you once again if you're ready and take on whatever that is when it comes up. But to finish with the Aries new moon, Aries full moon rather, is that what's most important on Wednesday, the 20th, and the days leading up to it is within a relationship, it's really important that the individual is celebrated and listened to, that there's a mutual respect piece going on in discussion and how people relay ideas. If this is not what's happening, Wednesday the 20th especially can be volatile, where a person challenges the status quo, because it's really important for both parties, all parties, to be heard in relationships, whether they're romantic, familial, business, friendship, any kind of partnership. And if that can't come to points of acceptance and really hearing one another, then it may be best for some relationships or situations to part ways. And again, that's part of the emphasis with Jupiter going direct, also Mercury going direct, is we are going into a period where it's really important to be clear and to have the right partners as you move forward. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to accomplish or make happen what it is you really intend over the next few months going forward. So as I mentioned, late afternoon, evening on Wednesday, very rich day, time with that moon in Taurus. Eat sustaining food, take some restorative time. When the moon is in Taurus, it's really asking us to pay attention to the body, feed ourselves. And it's not just food, it's like cultural enrichment, the things that make us feel loved and safe and secure and truly in the body and on the planet. And it may be that certain tasks need to be accomplished, or a sense of commitment to something to make that security or that sense of well-being happen. But that's really valuable to address on the evening of the 20th if those thoughts and feelings come up. And connections, follow through, continuation of projects, all of this is very, very positive as we go into Thursday, the 21st. The other thing that's really important to mention on the 21st is there's a configuration in the sky between Mars and Pluto, which is very dynamic, not necessarily easy. If you're experiencing this by transit, then what's happening is you are getting an activation which is about stepping up to your total power. And the thing about the word power is oftentimes people think, oh, I'm wielding power over someone, or I have this power, or I'm stronger than. Ultimate power is actually feeling very secure in your intention and ability to manifest, that it's like being a master of a martial art. You just know that you feel competent and comfortable to make something happen even if it looks like somebody else is winning or triumphing, that you know you're going the distance, you're going the long game. So Mars Pluto, for people who are not familiar with the energy, can feel very confrontational. It can cause power struggles or kind of ugly arguments or and financial like stuff. But if this is unfamiliar energy to you and you're feeling in the middle of it, then you really want to look for, as I said earlier, the long game. What makes you feel as though you're moving towards or making happen? What gives you the ultimate sense of your personal power and ability to take care of yourself? Because that's part of what on its lowest manifestation, it's kind of the little survival wars. On its ultimate manifestation, it's more, I have within me what I need to triumph and be the agent of my best destiny. And so it's very powerful. It's not easy, but you might find yourself in scrapes or witness some power struggles of other people or someone trying to engage you in something that you decide, am I getting involved with this? How do I keep the high ground? How do I make this happen? And a great discharge for it is to make sure you're doing some kind of physical exercise that puts the chi in the right space so that you don't get into an altercation or something that's awkward or you don't feel good about going forward. Friday the 22nd, excellent day at making opportunities happen. Keep that steady pace with whatever it is you're producing or going to achieve. And at 4:35 p.m., the moon goes void of course, and it's void of course for the rest of the day. And I can't stress enough, Friday evening just looks great for having a lovely, comfortable, delicious meal, sustaining, be in comfortable clothes, good surroundings, somewhere lovely really helps, and just feel very taken care of. And that's a very restorative way to spend this evening. On the 23rd, the sun enters Scorpio at 12:51 a.m. and the moon enters Gemini at 3:57 a.m. And this takes us through the weekend, this moon in Gemini, which strikes me as very lively, curious, playful energy. We can certainly accomplish a lot if that's what we choose to do. It's very valuable to direct yourself about what you want to make happen over the weekend if you do need to kind of achieve or make something happen. Otherwise, the weekend may be just spent with, oh, I want to do this and I'm going to do that and talk to her and go see him. And I mean, it looks like it can be a lot of fun. But if you do want to achieve and accomplish, plan that out before that moon enters Gemini, because then it can just take you like a child running through the woods and saying, "Hey, look over here! Oh, wow, let's go here!" And it can be great fun. So the only thing I need to add is on Sunday the 24th. Once we get into the later evening, it may feel as if early evening, late evening, it's like a little confusion, not knowing where to land. This is a wonderful evening to meditate, do some spiritual refreshment, not demand too much of yourself. And once we get into that late evening, then it's absolutely perfect for restorative sleep, to give yourself dream time and wake up the next day with energy to burn. And now I turn it over to Suzy.
Okay, so it's a lot. There's a lot this week.
It's a lot. This is a big week.
Yeah. So I think we will go straight into our meditation. I invite everyone to just take a deep breath and find a place to be settled where you can sit and be still. Take a few deeper breaths and allowing your mind now just to change gears a little bit. And just deepening into the energy of yourself. You can also visualize, like, if you are just pulling all of the energy back inside, like all of your tentacles are coming back in to the central area. So our thoughts are coming back. We're no longer projecting into the present, actually we are in the present. We're no longer projecting into the past. We're no longer projecting into the future. And we're just allowing ourselves to be here in the present. And in that energy of the present, it's just a stillness. It's just an open, empty place. So we're not really even coming to any thoughts, just allowing ourselves to be. And visualize this space, or think of it or feel of it really just as a very open space where there's no thoughts, no plans, no ideas, no concepts. We could even go so far as to not even being here ourselves. It's openness, spacious. And in that openness, just start to see a little bit of like a glimmer, like a sparkle, so that you're seeing sparkles of energy. And you can see those sparkles of energy inside your body. Like glitter. And they're spaced out. There's a lot of space there. And then you can also just take that visualization a little bit further out from your body. Just, meet a couple of meters or a couple of feet. Just create like a space around your body, like a ball, a sphere shape. And in that, let's call it a bubble, in that bubble which contains you, just visualize again these beautiful sparkles representing energy. And that energy is not defined, it's not labeled, it's not categorized. It's just the representation of space, the representation of freedom, of liberation. Open, clear space. And just allow yourself to take a few deeper breaths now into that space. Feeling the openness, the freedom. And feel yourself breathing that space into your mind, as if all of the air is going in to your mind, making space in your mind. In all the little nooks and crannies in the mind, making space. And then with a few more deeper breaths, feel yourself making space in your body. Lots of space in between the organs and the muscles, in between all of the cells. In between all of the atoms. Really opening up. And then just imagine the space now going into your soul, into your spirit. Where all the stories are, all the karma, all the information. And just feel all of the space in there. And from all of this wonderful openness, where there are no ideas, no clinging to reality, no attachments to our ego or who we are or what we are, what we want, where we've been. In all of this space now, just feel that energy from all of that space. And very, very gently, just allow that space now to transform, to become all of your potential, all of your power. So it's not coming from your ideas or from what you want to project. It's coming from this fertile, open space. And just visualize all of your power, all of your wisdom, all of your skills, all of your potential now in all of that space, erupting from the energy of the universe, erupting purely in that frequency. And feel all of that potential, all of that power now arising from space, arising from openness, gently coming into your full awareness, into your being. And it's coming in here now with a lot of freedom, without restrictions. It's coming now from what we might even consider the realm of miracles. And allow it to come in without thought, without any kind of formatting or creation, just as a natural state of energy. And let us just sit with that energy now for a few days and allow it to incubate, allow it to settle, and allow it to become without trying, without effort. And as we take a few deeper breaths, allowing that, again, that spaciousness to be a part of us, to be a part of everything around us, to be a part of the world. Open space. And as we gently take a few deeper breaths, opening our eyes and becoming present here and now. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful week. And as always, please reach out to us for any private sessions that you'd like to do with Pam and myself. We're here to help you. So much love. Thanks, everyone. Love now.
You have been listening to Suzy Meszoly and Pamela Cucinell of ActiveSpirituality.life. If you've enjoyed this program, consider a donation. You can find the link for that, ActiveSpirituality.life. Regardless, we look forward to having you join us again for next week's podcast. Please share and have a great week.